Our 11Alive News at 6 p.m. starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with breaking news about a drowning. Here's what we know right now. This happened in Troup County just after 7:30 this morning. Deputies were called to West Point Lake near the Liberty Hill access area. When they arrived, investigators say 3 men were on a boat when one of them went over the front while trying to drop the anchor. He did not come back up. Investigators say the dive team later recovered the body of 33-year-old Jonathan Alvarado of Cobb County from the lake. The condition of the other 2 men is unknown at this time. And happening right now, a rally for Palestine is underway at the CNN Center, and that's where we find 11Alive's Teresa Bull is live right there. And Teresa, there's a lot of emotion out there right now.
Tons of emotion. Chanters were saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free as they marched past Centennial Park in Atlanta. The speakers stood right in front of the CNN sign asking the United States to stop aid to Israel. Many of these demonstrators are holding signs just like some of the folks behind me here. They're asking to stop genocide and resistance against occupation. And there were people from all ages and ethnicities out here, from babies as young as 7 months to people who identify as Palestinian and people who are not. And if you pay attention to some of these designs out here, these patterns that they're wearing, essentially what that means is from the river to the sea, the little squiggly lines on that pattern as well as the connected lines, that's about the chains that they hope are broken against their people. And they've been here since 4 p.m. still out here kind of wrapping things up, but still yelling out different chants that they've been chanting all afternoon. I actually spoke to a man from Gaza. He says that his family is still out here. You'll hear more from him tonight at 10 and 11 on 11Alive. Live in Atlanta, Teresa Bowles, 11Alive News.
Thank you, Teresa, for that live report. Israel gave residents in Gaza City a 6-hour window to evacuate for their safety on Saturday. And there were signs Israel will ramp up its retaliation after Hamas terror attacks has killed more than 1,300 people. Steve Namus has the latest.
The clock is ticking for residents in northern Gaza to evacuate for their safety.
There are civilians here whom are not our enemy, and we do not want to target them. We are asking them to evacuate so that we will be able to continue to strike military targets belonging to Hamas in the Gaza Strip.
More than 1 million civilians are under Israeli notice to flee from the north to the south. Nabil al-Sharafa said his mother, a Palestinian-American woman, is trying to escape Gaza City as bombs continuously rain in the area.
What's concerning to me is one time I speak to her, I'm able to reach her. Half an hour later, I'm not able to reach her. So, your mind begins to wonder, is she still alive? Was she another victim of collateral damage?
The humanitarian crisis in Gaza is intensifying as more than 2,000 people have been killed over the past week of fighting, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry.
We had to bring refrigerators from ice cream factories used for storing food and ice cream. We brought them to the hospital so the bodies don't rot. Our message is that Gaza is in crisis.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited soldiers on the front line near the Gaza border on Saturday as they prepare for a possible ground invasion. The IDF says its forces are increasing operational readiness for the next stages of the war.
And once we'll see that the situation will be permissible for significant combat operations, then they will commence.
Also today, CDC data shows Clayton County has one of the highest gun death rates in the metro. And the Clayton County Sheriff is working to change those statistics. So today, the Sheriff's Office held a gun buyback event, hoping to reduce the number of weapons on the street. 11Alive's Erica Murphy explains the benefits and the potential drawbacks.
The idea is simple. Give people money in exchange for guns with no questions asked. No name is given, no ID needs to be presented, and depending on the make and model, officers will hand over a gift card.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to get as many guns off the street as we can of Clayton County and also the metropolitan Atlanta area. And this is just an opportunity for folks to come and make a little bit of money. What we're giving away is $75 for a handgun and $100 for what we would call a rifle or a long gun.
The goal is to get guns out of the hands of criminals and reduce access to weapons. A recent study from RAND found that there's widespread public support for the concept, but does it work? The most successful buybacks bring in a few hundred weapons.
It's not going to be in the hundreds. Each event roughly is just under 100 guns that we get. But that's a substantial amount of guns that are coming off the streets.
It's also a matter of money. Experts say the street value is anywhere from $200 to $300. Here, they are paying up to $100 for a working weapon. Still, police feel that it's worth the cost to maybe help save a life.
The guns are completely destroyed once we take possession of them, so they will never be returned back to the streets again.
Schindler says the department is planning to hold a fourth and final gun buyback in November. Reporting from Clayton County, Erica Murphy, 11Alive News.
In DeKalb County, authorities are still searching for a suspect they say shot a deputy and is also wanted for murder. Multiple agencies are stepping in to help. DeKalb County police are looking for this man, Demetrius Nicholas. He's wanted for allegedly murdering a mother over the summer. He's been on the run since the alleged crime. On Friday, an officer spotted him near Woodbend Drive and Juliet Road in Stone Mountain. Officials say when Nicholas realized he was being followed, he started shooting. One of those bullets hit a deputy. DeKalb County Sheriff Melody Maddox says the injured deputy is eager to get back to work.
One of the deputies just happened to spot the individual that was wanted for murder and in turn put that information out, and the suspect saw, of course, that he was being tailed and began to fire at the deputy. Deputy Spears is really high. He's very much in touch with the job that he does and love what he does. Actually, he was trying to get back out here on the scene, but we just want to thank God and make sure that he is okay.
Nicholas is considered armed and dangerous. If you spot him, do not approach him. Call police. Also tonight, a woman is arrested and charged in connection with the death and disappearance of a Gwinnett County man who went missing back in July. This is Stephanie Stevens. She's charged with murder and concealing the death of another. Police say this is all tied to the death of Leandre Flint. Now, you may recall this past summer, Flint told his family he was leaving to go pick up car parts from an auto body shop, but then no one heard from him for several days. His truck was found hundreds of miles away in Detroit. Now, new warrants say he went to meet up with someone at a Buckhead apartment complex. Investigators say he was shot and killed there, and his body was disposed somewhere else. Police say 2 other people are also connected to his death. We've been following the search for Leandre from the very beginning. To find our full coverage, just search for this story online at 11alive.com. And take a look at this video thanks to our photojournalist Jefferson Cochran. Earlier today, he captured the Ring of Fire eclipse using the dwarf telescope that attaches to your phone. It's called the Ring of Fire because it looks like a circle of light. It's created when the moon is in front of the sun. NASA says it was visible for all states, including Alaska, at some part today. And Nicole, those who were able to witness the eclipse were excited, but for some, it was just a little too cloudy.
I know. I think especially in the Atlanta metro area, those clouds were just kind of hard to dodge. They were very slow to clear throughout the morning, so we kept a lot of kind of the dreary conditions around for the morning hours. We're seeing a lot more blue sky now, but still a decent amount of cloud cover as well. We're sitting at 72 degrees. Our winds are out of the west at about 12 miles per hour. They have been breezy today, gusty at times, and while I expect them to calm tonight, they're going to pick back up again tomorrow. So another breezy day in store for tomorrow. Right now on the radar, we're still seeing mostly quiet conditions, but there is additional cloud cover and even some spotty showers that are pushing down from the north. So I do anticipate cloud cover lingering for tomorrow as well as even for portions of Monday. On our radar, it really doesn't look like much. I don't think this is a very good showing of just how much cloud cover we do still have across much of North Georgia. With the clouds, temperatures tonight going to be really seasonable. We have cooler, drier air moving in, which will be more noticeable over about the next 24 hours. We're getting down to 50s tonight and then a nice warm up in store, but certainly on the cool side. Highs tomorrow only get up into the 60s, right around 63 degrees in Atlanta. While we do have that cooler, drier air coming in, it'll be still lingering into Monday and Tuesday, and then we start to warm up into Wednesday and Thursday. Despite the lower humidity, we will still see some of that cloud cover. It could show itself in the form of a couple spotty showers across far north Georgia late tomorrow afternoon and then again on Monday, but I don't think any rainfall expected for the Atlanta metro area. Our conditions improve through the week with highs close to 70 degrees by Wednesday and Thursday.
Nicole, a Dunwoody daycare owner is sentenced to 35 years in prison for the death of a 4-month-old baby. Police arrested Amanda Hickey back in February of 2021 after they determined she placed a 4-month-old baby on his stomach and left him unattended for several hours, resulting in his death. Further investigation found Hickey had abused other children at her daycare called 11Alive Daycare. In court on Friday, she said the person she was at the time was under a great deal of emotional stress.
And the person in that video may have been presenting well during that phase, but that person was broken and not holding it together.
Hickey will serve 30 of those years behind bars with 5 years of probation. She is charged with several counts of child abuse and second-degree murder. And right now, about 200,000 people who live in South Fulton County and at least 10 miles away from an emergency care center. But leaders in East Point and the city of South Fulton are hoping to change that by working together for the proposed South County Hospital Authority. Now, that would create at least one hospital in the area. 11Alive's Dawn White spoke to families in East Point about what this could mean for the community.
Wellstar AMC Health used to be in that building, but it closed its doors last year. That means there is no emergency room in Fulton County south of I-20. Life continues outside this old hospital building along Cleveland Avenue, but many residents are concerned of the lack of activity inside of it.
You need a hospital close to you in case something tragic was to happen or anything.
East Point Councilman Joshua Butler IV echoes the same feeling.
One of my constituents told me the story how her husband died because he couldn't get to Grady in time.
East Point started its own hospital authority board this summer. And this week, Councilman Butler and State Senator Donzella James met with the City of South Fulton Council, asking the city to join the effort.
Our goal is to reopen this hospital here in East Point immediately and then open up a new hospital south of here. So we're looking at the city of South Fulton as having its own hospital too.
The closest hospital is in Fayetteville, or we have to go to Grady, which is in the city of Atlanta. And so, or Douglasville.
City of South Fulton Councilwoman Helen Z. Willis says council is in the early stages of deciding whether it wants to be a part of a county-wide hospital authority.
The hospital authority will function sort of like the Grady Atlanta Authority. It will be able to raise funding, it will be able to seek grants, it will be able to get state funding, federal funding, funding from the county.
Our ultimate goal is to invite all the cities south of I-20 and Fulton County to participate in a new hospital authority.
The authority would include a board of medical and business professionals with the goal of bringing emergency care back into the inside of this building. Willis says the next step for the city of South Fulton is to meet with the city manager and financial advisor to figure out whether bringing a hospital to this area is doable. In East Point, Dawn White, 11Alive News.
Thank you, Dawn. Tonight, a proposed rail along the Beltline is running into some opposition. According to our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle, a group of civic leaders are trying to stop the rail. The organization Better Atlanta Transit wants to look into alternatives to streetlight cars and rail lines around the 22-mile loop. Now, this new push comes as Beltline leaders are working to bring more trains to the city. And tonight, MARTA is in the process of finalizing a design route which would link downtown to Pond City Market. Now, many say rail expansion is essential as many people populate the city.